It's your girl Spice coming at you with another video. This is actually going to be part 2 of what we talked about last week, and it's going to continue on with my weight loss story. Just to recap, I was telling you last week about what led me to getting weight loss surgery, as far as all of the diets being unsuccessful, my weight yo-yoing, my depression, all of these things that could contributed to my weight, and what kind of led me to finally taking that big step. So the last thing I shared was that my friend Kay, she went and had the weight loss surgery in Mexico, and she came back. She did great. She had no complications. She lost her weight pretty quickly. Well, she's still losing her weight, but you could start to see a difference in her, just her physical and mental. Everything just started to change about her. So I said, you know what? After I did my own research and I talked to a bunch of people, I researched a bunch of different doctors and found that the doctor she had definitely had probably the highest rating, and he was just, everybody had great things to say about him. A lot of doctors in the States knew about him, including my primary healthcare doctor. He's been on Oprah. He's done a lot of good things. So I decided to go to Dr. Ortiz at the OCC, Obesity Control Center in Tijuana, Mexico. Now, one of the first red flags for me before I even started was the fact that it was in Tijuana, Mexico, right? I'm sure everybody's thinking that. We all have this perception that Mexico is dirty, it's shady, there's not good people down there, there's gonna be someone in an alley with a rusty knife cutting you open. And you know, it's such a bigoted thought process. Not that I'm blaming y'all, because I had the same one, but there's no difference in a lot of areas than here in the America. And it's funny that so many doctors are flown in from these other countries, including Dr. Ortiz, to do procedures here in America, because these doctors here don't either know, or they are trying to teach them new procedures and whatnot. Well, Dr. Ortiz has a procedure that is like top of the line, but after finding out some research, or through some research, I found out that one of the reasons America doesn't do the same procedure is because they're not able to charge you as much with insurance, because you don't need as much recovery time. So it's all kind of a game. And unfortunately, I found that out when I was doing my research, that they would wait till I got sick before they would help me, instead of me doing something preventative. It wasn't then, because it was preventative, then I would have to pay more out of pocket, which I just didn't understand. It really bothered me. And the more I researched and looked at what the insurance would cost, and what I needed to, like how unhealthy I needed to be to actually get service, really depressed me and kind of made me just mad at America. Like, we need to figure this out and get it together. Like, there's no reason that we do things like this. But it also led me to discover something that I'd never heard of, which is called medical tourism. And that's where people, mostly a lot of Americans, will fly into these other countries to get services that their country, America, is either going to charge 3 and 4 times the price, or won't give them because insurance won't cover it. So a couple popular things is, a lot of people go to Mexico for dental care, which either getting teeth fixed, pulled, or the implants put in. It's apparently a lot cheaper than it is here. And weight loss surgery is one, and then also plastic surgery. Those are like the 3 big things people travel around the world to get. And so the more I started reading about it and finding out that people were doing this, I was like, oh, this isn't really that abnormal. I'm kind of abnormal because I never had done it before, or even heard of it. But it's a big industry. I just want to pop in and caution you guys. While this is a popular industry, I still encourage you to really research your doctor, their facility, their accreditations, their statistics, all of that before you make a choice on going to get any kind of procedure outside of America, because there are different regulations and rules. However, you do get what you pay for, so it's really important that you do your research. Don't just pick somebody and go. Make sure you're looking at their statistics on how their patients healed afterwards, and etc. I don't want you to think this was a fly-by-night decision. This came with a lot of thought, and I want to make sure you guys all do the same thing too. Thank you. So that kind of helped ease my mind. Plus, I was researching Dr. Ortiz like crazy. He has an Instagram, and I just kept following him, and he'd show like how he did the surgery. He'd actually show you a live of him doing the actual surgery on patients while, in progress. So I could see all that was being done. I like stuff like that. Some people might be a little queasy, but I like those kind of things just because I wanted to know what was going on when I was out. He would show you his facility, super clean, super sterile, very high tech, very modern. Like, it was nothing that you'd be like, oh my God, where do they have me at? So I said, you know what? I'm going to take my tax return, I'm going to put it towards this, and I'm going to go get me a surgery. And I did. I had to pay a $500 deposit and then buy my plane ticket. And then I flew down there and paid them the remaining $6,000 for the surgery. That included all of my medication, that included my follow-up care. Everything that I needed was all included. Including a tour. We got to go on a city tour, and that was part of the price too. I booked my appointment in June, and the soonest they could get me in was August 10th. So I booked my plane ticket, and I was going to go by myself, just like my friend Kay went. I thought I could handle it. Well, I was talking to Babe about it, and Pookie, like the whole time, he'd been so supportive because he knew how hard I worked. Before I decided to do weight loss surgery, the October before that, I said, you know what? I am going to work out and eat right for at least 6 months to see if I can make any progress. If I can't do it on my own, then that's when I'm going to get the weight loss surgery. And so that October of 2017, I worked out consistently. Please go check out my Instagram at SpiceLife81. I'll put that down here because I want you to see. I documented every single workout, all of my meals, everything. And I worked my butt off for 4 months, and I had lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds. Do you know how frustrating that was? I think that what happened was I had just ruined my body. I'd ruined my body from all of these diets, from this yo-yo dieting, from just eating right 2 weeks and then binging the next 2 weeks. Like, my body just was like, okay, and what are you doing? We know you about to be back, so we're not about to move because we know you ain't gonna stick with it. You know what I'm saying? It was not showing your girl no love. And I just had finally got to my wits' end, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. I am doing this. So I booked my trip in June. I had my tickets to fly down in August, and I was going by myself. Babe was so supportive. He was like, I know that this is really important to you. Whatever you need to do. He just wanted me to come back alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I leave for travel, for anything, he's like, please just come back to me. So the one thing that kind of got me a little concerned was that, it is surgery. And if there's ever a complication, I didn't want to necessarily be alone. And the bigger part was that I didn't want Pookie to not be able to contact me and find out if something was wrong. So, and mind you, I hadn't even told my family. Like, I kept this a secret. I didn't want to tell them. And I'll tell you why I didn't tell them in just a second. So I decided that I was going to ask my friend Becky. I was like, she spoke Spanish. So I thought, God forbid we get down there and it's not like we think it's going to be. At least she can interpret, and I'd have some support. So I bought her ticket because she was going down for me. So I was like, girl, come down, hang out at the pool, get you some rays while I'm recovering. Like, this could just be your little a little getaway, So she came, and we had a good time. Let me back up and tell you why I didn't tell my family. So I had mentioned to you guys before that my mom had weight loss surgery. So I think she had weight loss surgery probably in like September of 2001. I saw her right after she had it, and then I went away to school. No, something like that. Can't really remember. It's been quite a while. But then I went away to school, and I was gone for about 6 months. And the next time I saw her, she had passed away, and she was about 70 pounds less. So when I saw her, she was not recognizable to me, not only because she wasn't alive, but because she was way smaller. Like, I just couldn't comprehend it. My mom passed away from complications from a surgery she had to remove a hernia. But the hernia came from the fact that she had lost her weight so quickly. She had acquired this hernia. That was kind of a side effect. So in the past, when I had mentioned doing weight loss surgery, everybody freaked out because in their mind, they had kind of, what's the word? I don't even know the word, but they had, in their minds, they had decided that my mom had passed away based on her weight loss surgery, which she had had months before. It wasn't the weight loss surgery. It was from losing the weight so fast, she got a hernia, and the hernia, she had a surgery for that, and there was complications which led her to her death. But do you see how they related the two? So when I had mentioned it before, people would freak out. Or people were like, oh my God, don't do that. You know what happened to your mama and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of had that same thought. Like I had kind of forgot that that's what my mom had passed away from. Like I thought I had been putting it with weight loss surgery too. Like, oh my gosh, this could happen from weight loss surgery. But that wasn't what she died from. So because I had become so resolved and I was so sure that this is what I wanted to do, I did not want to hear any negativity. I have 2 grandmothers that I love to death, but they say the wrongest thing at the wrongest time every single time. So I did not want that because, for one, I didn't want my confidence shooken. I didn't want my motivation taken. I didn't want my joy or my excitement to be diminished by their comments that most likely were not educated comments, just coming out of like, blah, you know? I didn't want that. Sometimes people are thinking that they're being supportive and really they're not. And I wasn't looking for approval. That was the main thing. I didn't want to tell them and think that that was an opportunity for them to give me their opinion because I didn't want it. I had decided what I was going to do. I had researched it. I had talked to God about it. I had prayed on it. Like I was ready for this decision. And Pookie was all on board. So that was, to me, all I needed to tell. I didn't want people in my business. I had decided that I was going to tell my brother and sister because, I mean, they're supportive and they're just like, we want you to be happy, you know? And the reason also I wanted to tell my brother is because I put him on the list for an emergency contact in case something did happen because he lives in California and I was going to be right across the border. He'd be the fastest one to be able to get to me. And I didn't want, God forbid, something did happen and they're like, your sister's in Tijuana. And he's like, what? So I did give him the heads up. But the rest of them didn't know. And so I made that choice. I had decided to go down. Me and Becky were going to go and I had bought her ticket. She was totally supportive on going. She was just, concerned and didn't want me to be alone, which I appreciated that. But I was okay with being alone. But like I said, I just didn't want Pookie not to know what was going on. So anyway, we flew down. I took off Thursday through Tuesday from work. We flew down Thursday. We checked into our hotel, super nice hotel. Like it was not a slum hotel. It was at the Marriott. They had a pool. They had room service. They had their own dining area. And the cool thing was this hotel was specifically set up for weight loss surgery patients. So, there's a certain diet that you have to be on before you get your weight loss surgery. And the hotel accommodated that. They brought us broth to our room. They brought us popsicles. They made sure we had water. They accommodated us and made sure they took care of us. What I found out later was that Dr. Ortiz meets with them on a monthly basis to make sure that his clients are getting the service they need. It was like I could have been in the hospital and got the same service, if not better, but I was in the comforts of a hotel room. I had my own TV. Like it was so nice. I just can't even say anything bad about it. It was a great experience. It didn't smell. It was clean. Like it was a good experience. The reason I'm going into that so deep stressing that so much is because people have so many preconceived notions about Mexico and especially Tijuana, Mexico. And I'm not saying that all of them are wrong, but I'm saying I didn't experience that. So we check into the hotel. They tell us like, okay, be ready by this time in the morning. And then we started to kind of walk around and meet up with some of the other gals that I had talked to that I knew were having surgery that day. They have a Facebook forum. OCC has a Facebook forum. And so I had put on there one time, hey, anybody having surgery on August 10th? And if they don't see it, they won't respond. But another lady had posted and I was like, I am. So we ended up starting our own little group chat and we became fast buddies. That night we met each other. And we've just been keeping in touch with each other every month or so. I mean, every week, every couple of weeks. When we first got back, we talked every single day. But now, you know, everybody's kind of getting in their routine. But they're my sleeve sisters. There's 6 of us, and we are sleeve sisters for life. Great group of gals. I mean, it was so nice having them. Still, even now, when like, hey, I'm losing my hair, or hey, I'm in a stall, like all of us we're kind of experiencing the same things around the same time, and it was just really cool to go through with them. So that next morning we checked in to the hospital, or we had a shuttle. They came and picked us up from the hotel. We went to the hospital. I gave them my check. They did some tests. They checked me in. I was, I think, number 3, and the surgeries took about 45 minutes. I was in there just hanging out with Becky. We were watching TV, and all of a sudden, Dr. Ortiz walks in, which kind of was like a celebrity because I had been watching him so much and hearing so many wonderful things about him. And he's fine too, y'all. Like, the man is handsome. Damn! So he comes in, he talks to me like we were just old friends. He sat down, he crossed his leg. He was like, hey, so what's going on? How are you feeling? Tell me about this. And we just talked for 20 minutes just about life, why I was doing the surgery, why this was important to me. Like, he took the time to really kind of get to know me, because we hadn't met before. I'd been talking to his nurses and stuff, but I hadn't talked with him. And I thought that was so special that he took that time to really like assure me, like, you know, I got you. Everything's going to be good. I felt so calm. Mind you, they did give your girl some Xanax, so that could have contributed. But I ain't mad because I was feeling so good. But yeah, he came in and talked, and he wasn't like under pressure. I didn't feel like he was rushing. You know how doctors here just always make you feel like they don't have time to talk to you? This was just the most relaxed conversation. And I just really, that kind of was like the highlight for me. Like, I've never felt like a doctor actually cared, and he appeared to care. And I really think that he does. I think he makes everybody feel that way. And that's why he's being so successful. So I was chilling. I was kind of just like, taking advantage of that Xanax, girl. I'd never had it before. And I was like, I see why people get addicted to this. Because you just feel like, yeah, life is good. Like, it was feeling so good. So I ended up having my surgery. The next thing I remember was them saying, okay, Candace, you have to get up. You got to walk. And they started us walking. That first hour out of being surgery, we walked every hour. We had to walk, I think, for 5 or 10 minutes every hour after surgery. The first, like, a little bit, all I remember being so tired, like I just wanted to sleep so bad. But they were like, nope, you got to walk. The walking helps move the gas out, helps just makes your recovery a lot easier. And I'm so glad that they did, because we connected with other ladies from different surgical centers that were having their surgery done. Some of them had tubes coming out of them. Some of them were sick. Like, the care was not the same everywhere. And it was really kind of cool to see how different our care was, because they would say, like, how come you guys are just so walking around with no pain? Like, we are having pain. And we're like, because we went to Dr. Ortiz. That's why. So yeah, they had us walking. We had to try to sip and get our drinks in. And I don't think she was I don't think I was her only patient, but this nurse was so attentive to me. Like, she was in there every single hour. All right, Candace, you got to drink. And she'd stay there until I drank what I needed to drink. All right, Candace, you got to walk. She'd get me up, and I'd be connected to my IV, and I'm just still walking. And all of us are just doing these laps in the hallway. We'd give each other high fives on the way, and everybody's so groggy. Like, I just remember being so groggy, I could barely even see. I was so tired. But I wasn't in any pain. I wasn't, like, sick. Like, some people, when you research it, they say they're nauseous all the time. I didn't really have any of that. So we stayed there that day. Yeah. We had the surgery on Friday. We stayed overnight, and then we left on Saturday. And Saturday, I mean, I felt a little sore in my stomach, but it was like I felt sore where my stomach used to be. Like, you could tell the side that they cut it off. And that was a little achy and sore, but not anything that was like pain. I had a heating blanket. I would use that. They gave us some pain medication. They gave us nausea and heartburn medication. And I took that like I was supposed to. We went back to the hotel. I rested, went and sat by the pool. I drank my broth. Like that, I walked. We made sure we all met up to do our laps. Me and my sleep sisters, we kept doing our laps and stuff. That Sunday we went on a tour. of Tijuana and some other areas, and walked around and did some shopping and everything. Like we were up and at 'em. Like it wasn't even, there was no downtime besides that day, after surgery. Then, so that Sunday, what happened? Yeah, Sunday we had another day. Oh, Sunday was when we went to the tour. Then Monday we had to go back to the doctor to have our leak test. And that's where they gave us this, liquid that we drink. We sit on this chair that's like a, x-ray, and we drink the liquid to make sure that everything's going out down properly and nothing's coming out, so that there was no leaks in your new stomach, right? And that was it. Once you got the clear, then you were ready to go home. And my ticket was booked for 3:00 that afternoon. So we had our test, I think, at 9, and we were off to the hospital. And I got on my plane at 3, and then actually we got one earlier. We paid a little bit more to get on the earlier flight. And we got home, and then I stayed home that Monday and went to work on the next Tuesday. And I've been going ever since. Now, when I first got back, I did have a little, there was a little time where I had some nausea. But once I started drinking more and getting my fluids in, that totally went away. So the experience was great. Like, I had no concern. There was never a time where I was like, oh crap, what's going on? Thank God, was never sick. None of us were. All of us were, like, we recovered very well. We didn't have that throwing up and like the heaves and all that. None of that happened for us. And like I said, comparing it to other ladies that were in the same hotel as us, but went to different doctors, and you've seen them going home with tubes in them. We didn't have anything like that. I got 4 incisions. There was a little one. So let's just say this is my stomach. There was a little one here, a bigger one here, one little one up here at the top, like right between your breasts, and then one little one over here on this side, on the other side of your belly button. So I had 4 incisions. 3 of them are pretty much gone. The big one, which I think that's where they put the camera in. I'm almost sure. That one was a bigger incision, and it's still there, but it's healing nicely. Even when I went back on the on Monday for my liquid test, he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe how good your incisions are healing," because 2 of them looked like they were already like completely healed. So yeah, I mean, the process, is it a traditional way to do it? No. Is it something I would do again? Absolutely. Would I tell my loved ones or family members or my close friends, and y'all, if that was something you were considering, would I tell you that, would I suggest it for you? Absolutely. I would totally tell you that I would do this all over again, and I would feel comfortable going by myself. Becky was there as support, and she was great, and I'm glad she was there, but I didn't end up needing anything. Like, everything I needed, either the hotel or the doctors handled it for me. So I had such a great experience, and I've been consistently losing. The last month and a half has been a huge stall, but I mean, I've lost 50 pounds in 4 months, so it's kind of expected. And partly too is I kind of gave in for the holiday, and I have to say I have not been working out like I normally was doing either. So that's why I'm trying to get back on track. Is this a resolution? No, it's not a resolution, because I don't like the name. I don't like the title. I don't like the pressure that brings. But I do know what I want for my body, and I want to get back on track. And so this is what I'm doing. And I felt like the best way for me to be accountable is for you guys to help your sister out. And if I start doing these weight loss Wednesdays, whether it's either a story time about my weight loss, or if it's a workout, or whatever the case, that will at least make sure that once a week I am addressing my weight loss concerns and problems. And that's important to me. So I hope you guys are interested. I hope if you have any ideas, if there's any type of like a workout collab someone wants to do, or I don't know, I'm totally game. So let's just talk about it, and let's be open. And if you have questions about weight loss surgery, or why you should do it, or maybe not, because it's not for everybody. And I'm not on here saying, have weight loss surgery. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, if you do have it or you're interested, I understand. And I would be more than happy to help you kind of walk through that process on determining what's the best solution for you. I am not anti-surgery, weight loss surgery in the States. Like, I still think it's great and people have great success, but it was not the best option for me. And that's why I chose it. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And I hope you understand. And I hope it gives you some clarity. And also, hope that if you have any questions, you feel comfortable asking me about them. And you can email me directly at spicelife81@gmail.com, or you can get in touch with me on my Instagram at spicelife81. You can direct message me there, but you also can go back and follow my journey up until this point. I've been doing on Wednesdays, I'll put my weight loss Wednesday, or weigh-in Wednesday, and I'll put my stats up there so you guys can see. But I really want this to be just kind of a conversation. If you want to see my everyday workout things, then go look at my Instagram for that. So I am going to go ahead and leave you guys now. I'm not sure what my next topic or next Weight Loss Wednesday will be, but it's coming. So you guys take care of yourself. Thanks so much for joining your girl. I appreciate you coming back again and again. You guys do my heart so good. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day, guys.